definitely feeling more pessimistic, especially in relation to female lawyers and their treatment, because I don't think anything's changed in the last 100 years. Maybe there's more of them, but I think misogyny runs deep, particularly from some judges. It's not really from other barristers, it's some judges who have misogynistic views. And I'm also pessimistic about what's happening in terms of the silencing of women, the self-identification of men as apparently women, because the Kool-Aid seems to have been drunk very widely. And in terms of one of the things I think we need to try and do is when we try and have these discussions with friends and bring them into reality, it can be hard because the walls go up straight away. They immediately think, oh, you're going to say mean things about these people. And it's hard to work out how to address the conversation to keep them listening. I think that's a real difficulty because it's run so deep. It's just become ingrained, this ridiculous gender culture. Not even just transgender, but gender, the 100 genders. Where does it end? I actually went to an LGBT, I'll just say quickly, the other night. It was it was just for continuing legal education. And of course, it was all about the T. So I was listening very carefully. And we were told that we should, after our names, when we write, our names on anything, underneath it, put our pronouns. And I just thought it's so ridiculous. Not only do I not agree with the whole pronoun rubbish, but if I was going to put anything, I would put my degrees there. I've got a Master of Laws, I've got a BA/LLB Hons. Why wouldn't I put that instead of some weird she, her, whatever? Or talk about, I agree with human rights, I think we need to, or I agree with the environment. Something that is more important than some weird narcissistic, ideological, nutty thing. But what concerned me more, I played it back to listen to because I'd missed the first half of it because I was busy. And when they were explaining why we should do it, they said, it's not enough to be, or one person said, it's not enough to be woke, but you need to show that you're not a bad person, and that's why you should do it. And I just find that extraordinary. I find that disturbing and really, frankly, quite menacing. Thanks.
Great, thank you so much. Next to Bronwyn.
Okay, I'm optimistic about feminism refocusing on sex-based rights because we can't afford to be anything other than positive, I don't think, and committed to this cause. When I was a young woman, we fought for rights and opportunities that were equal to those enjoyed by men and boys in education, in the workplace, in public life and in sports, and many equalities were achieved. Now our progress is not just stalled, we are being taken backwards by male people who identify as female, who have succeeded in having that identity recognised in law and public policy. Right now, we need to make it very clear that as women and girls, there are certain rights to which we are entitled as human beings because of, not in spite of, our sex. Men are not women and boys are not girls, and they cannot be allowed to take our sex-based rights and make them a tool of gender ideology. Also this week, I read a very thoughtful forensic analysis of Judith Butler's work. It was posted on Twitter by a fellow Tasmanian feminist and expert wildlife carer. The author of this work, which was written in 1999, by the way, said in her conclusion, Butler's self-involved feminism is for successful middle-class people who prefer to focus on cultivating the self rather than thinking in a way that helps the material condition of others. Hungry women are not fed by this, battered women are not sheltered by it, raped women do not find justice in it, gays and lesbians do not achieve legal protections through it. I believe we need to distance ourselves now from self-involved feminism and focus on the women and girls who are clearly disadvantaged because of their sex. This has always been my priority, but I feel many modern feminists are more concerned with appearances than action. Part of the way forward also, I believe, is a commitment to unity. It disappoints me enormously when prominent feminists who are out there campaigning for sex-based rights publicly belittle other women doing the same work. I don't want to offend anybody, but for example, Julie Bindel, whose work everyone admires, took a nasty swipe at Posy Parker on Twitter this week. Posy Parker might not be an academic feminist, but she works tirelessly to further the sex-based rights of women and girls and protect children from the very real dangers of trans ideology. I think it serves no purpose to argue among ourselves or be precious about political affiliations and ideologies. You've all heard the saying, bros before hoes. Well, men and boys live by that, mostly without thinking. Many times I've engaged my sons in discussions about men who treat women poorly, and although they agree that the man's behaviour is bad, I can see they are uncomfortable with the acknowledgement of it. I think women need to stick together when it comes to this particular issue. Nuance has its place, certainly, but we need solidarity with all women, and we need to support every woman working her butt off to advance the cause of sex-based rights.
Okay, then we go to Janet.
I don't really do optimism. I'm a sort of a nihilist optimist. I must have something of the optimist in me because I've been a feminist activist for 30 something years now, and I have never won a campaign. Literally never won a campaign. You just do it, right? Because it's right. I would love to win. I would love to be able to repeal some legislation. I would love for sexism to die in the arse. I don't think it's going to happen, but fighting it is the right thing to do. So I will do that for the rest of my life.